Real quick, something I should have done at the top. Can you say your name and and your job title?
So I'm Roberta Elliott, and my job title is Executive Director of Circle Arts Theater. That's what it is now. It used to be Artistic Director, then Managing Artistic Director, and when Mom passed, then I became the Executive Director. Mom started Circle Arts Theater when I was 13 or 14, somewhere in there. So the theater turned 50. I've been doing theater for 50 years. I've been employed for 40 of those 50. Yeah, so I came back and, maybe it was 13. I don't know, 13, 14, I don't know. But yeah, I graduated college, and not quite a year later, I'd just been doing odd jobs here and there, and not quite a year later, the theater hired me. I studied at Trinity University, and I did take playwriting, and part of the reason I took playwriting is because we had 2 playwrights there at Trinity, and I want to take advantage of having honest-to-God playwrights teaching playwriting, and started doing. I've always liked writing. When I was young, it was short stories and poetry, but then it was, let's see about writing an actual play. And I have written 2 main stage shows that have been performed, but the majority of my stuff has been children's shows or shows a little bit more advanced for the inner circle when they're doing their conference show. Yeah. When I was a year, I got polio, which did not slow me down once they were smart enough to give me a brace so that my leg would not collapse. I didn't know I was handicapped for a very long time. My mother never treated me like that, so I learned to do everything everybody else did, just a lot of times in different ways. Up until, I guess in my 40s, I was climbing up the ladder, lifting the platforms, designing choreography, love to design choreography, and doing everything. But when you abuse your body like that, eventually it gives out, and so we realized there was a spinal deformity, and so it's what I call the domino effect. So then the spine had a problem, and after years of dealing with that, then the hip had a problem, and yes, I'm finally correcting these things. But then in correcting one thing, I overcompensate with something else. And ironically, I use the chair now not because my legs don't work or my back can't handle it, but because in order to walk, I have to use crutches. And I have totally destroyed my shoulders because of being on crutches for so long. And so I'm actually in the chair because my shoulder can't handle walking, not because my legs can't. I would love to walk more, and if we ever figure out a way to kind of turn off the pain in my shoulder, I'll do it, The Inner Circle is an elite group of young actors that are mostly high school. Every once in a while a middle schooler gets in there because they are exceptional, and they are a repertory company, and they stay together for the entire year. They learn a children's show that they tour to the schools with, and then they have, in the past 23 years, ever since Texas Nonprofit Theaters began a youth conference, they have been learning a conference show, which is usually a bigger production, better quality production, a more challenging show, whether it's a drama or a musical, because musicals are very challenging. And they've been doing that for, like I say, 23 years. I was 22 or 23 when Inner Circle was founded. And Inner Circle is 40 years old now, whereas the theater is 50 years old, so it was 10 years later. I had done children's shows, directed children's shows at the theater during college, and a lot of great kids. And then I'd been teaching classes to a lot of them. It's like, we've got all these great kids, and they don't have an outlet like the adults do, you know? So that's when it occurred to me, this is what we need to do. We need to have a repertory company of elite kids who take theater to the schools. And that way, everybody gets exposed to theater. And it doesn't matter, we don't have to worry about their parents taking them. We don't have to charge more because of royalties and set and everything else. Families can't always afford that, and they may not even be able to get there. So it's like, this is perfect. My kids get to work. The children all over get exposed to live theater and hopefully learn something, you know. And so yeah, that's the reason it was born, and Inner Circle has become such an integral part of the theater now. It is raising our own actors, and for those who stay in the area, they come back, of course. My relationship with Inner Circle through the years, at the very beginning, I was only like 3 or 4 years older than my oldest in the company. So in the beginning, it was like just hanging out with my friends, a lot of my young friends, and we'd drive around, you go get drinks, we'd be silly. I wasn't an adult. It took me a long time to learn how to be an adult. As I got older, and learned that, there are things I'm not supposed to do because I'm the teacher, I'm the director, they're the student. I got more professional, but taking care of my kids never stopped. So they all had my personal cell phone, they all knew where I lived, and through the years I've let them know that if for whatever reason they couldn't handle what was happening where they were, they got drunk or whatever, and they didn't feel they could call their parent, they could call me, I would come get them. And I have relationships with a lot of them even today. If they need something, they give me a call, whatever it might be, and if I can help, I help. And, if I can't, I let them know. But I still talk with them. I still, they're important. They are my kids, and they will always be my kids. And I never got to have children, but I got to have children. I love my cats so much, it's ridiculous. So, they are my babies. I spoil them. There are toys everywhere for them. And, yeah. Here's the story behind Diet Dr. Pepper, which I call DDP. There was this guy in high school that I had the biggest crush on. I was just a freshman, he was a senior, and he drank Dr. Pepper. And because he drank Dr. Pepper, I wanted to drink Dr. Pepper so we'd have something to talk about. I mean, it's ridiculous, but that's where it started. But of course, I got hooked, and when you do theater, boy, do you need caffeine. And in college, cans were only $0.25, and out of the vending machines. And so when I got up to 10, I realized, oh my God, I am gaining weight just from drinking Dr. Pepper, and I switched over to Diet Dr. Pepper. But yes, I am hooked. People joke with me about, let's just give it to her intravenously, hook her up. And there have been several times in inner circle rehearsals, if I'm really edgy or I'm in a bad mood or whatever, and if the kids see that I don't have one, they go, would you like me to get you one? Because they hope that will make me feel better. I will, in listing my religion on medical forms, depending on the mood I am in, I will either put down God or I will put down Taoist, Zen, Buddhist, Catholic warrior. Because I was, besides a theater major, I was also a comparative religion major. I am open to all forms of worshiping the divine, and do believe in a higher power, and try to follow as many of the edicts of Buddha and Jesus and Krishna as I can. My biggest goal for Circle Arts Theater is to continually grow, for us all to continually learn. But my greatest hope and dream is that when I pass, it keeps going no matter what. That the board finds the person as passionate as I am to make things happen. Right now we have Robin, thank you God. She's always teasing that she will retire before I do. I hope it's just a joke, because in the arts, you don't really retire. You go until either your body can't get out of the bed or until you die.